Welcome back to Enablement Uncanned. We're the place where, we sift through all the noise and really focus on the numbers that matter for you.
That's right. And today we've got quite a stack of data all centered on sales enablement, or SE. We're looking at strategy, tech, the investment, basically what's shaping up for 2025.
Our goal here is pretty simple. Give you the essentials. We want you to walk away understanding the strategic impact, the big challenges, and honestly, where this whole enablement industry is heading. It's your shortcut to being really clued in.
Exactly. And we should probably start with the statistic that, well, really grabs your attention right away.
Let's do it. This is the one for the exec summary. Organizations that actually have a defined sales enablement strategy, they achieve a, get this, 49% higher win rate on the deals they forecast.
49%. I mean, that's massive. It just shows enablement isn't some nice-to-have admin function anymore. It's core to growth.
Absolutely. And it's not just about winning deals, right? There's an internal payoff, too.
Oh, definitely. Look at the ROI on efficiency. Good SE cuts the time it takes to get new hires up to speed, their onboarding time, by 40 to 50%. Think about that. Better reps, much faster.
Okay, let's unpack that 49% win rate number, though. That's huge. It feels like that kind of figure tells us this industry isn't just growing anymore. It's matured, right? What actually drove that shift?
Well, it's become standard practice, really out of necessity and just recognizing the scale. The numbers show 90% of organizations already had some kind of dedicated SE team or program back in 2023.
90%. So it's pretty much table stakes now.
Exactly. And we're talking about a seriously defined market. Mordor Intelligence estimates it'll hit $8.79 billion by 2029. So, yeah, when you see numbers like that, you realize this isn't optional. It's basically the required infrastructure for selling effectively today.
Okay, so it's a big market, widely adopted. How does leadership feel about it? Are they seeing the value in the investment?
Overwhelmingly, yes.
Yeah.
The data is really clear here. 76% of leadership teams say SE and sales ops are crucial for driving performance.
Okay, they believe it's crucial. But do they see the results?
They do. And that's maybe even more telling. The same percentage, 76% of leaders, directly credit improvements in their sales performance to their sales enablement investments. So they're connecting the dots and seeing that return firsthand.
Right. And that flows down, doesn't it? Like 65% of sales leaders who are actually using SE tools, they've blown past their revenue targets.
Yep. The tools make a difference. But, to really understand why they're so vital, you have to look at how B2B buyers have changed their behavior.
The buyer journey. That always comes up.
It has to, because here's the really critical fact. Somewhere between 50 and 90%, that's a huge range, but significant either way, of the B2B buying journey is done before that buyer even talks to a sales rep.
50 to 90%. Done. Wow. Okay, that just flips the whole sales model on its head, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If they've basically made up their mind before they call you, what's the rep's job then?
Exactly. The traditional discovery call, it's kind of going extinct. The rep's walking into a situation where the buyer has already compared maybe 5 competitors.
Right.
They're deep in evaluation.
So the rep isn't educating from scratch. Validating, confirming.
Precisely. If that rep can't immediately pull up, say, a super specific case study or compare pricing nuances or nail down compliance details right then and there, they don't look like an expert. They look like a roadblock.
Ouch. Yeah.
And that's the real strategic purpose of good SE software. It equips the rep to be that final, crucial expert voice, not just the person reading the brochure.
This self-service trend also shines a light on a big internal problem: content. All the stuff marketing makes. Is it getting used?
Well, not very efficiently. Get this, 50% of all the engagement you get from prospects, it comes from just 10% of your sales enablement content.
Only 10%. So
No.
90% of the effort, the resources, the costs that marketing and product put into creating content is kind of wasted, or at least underused.
Largely, yeah. And that waste has a real dollar figure attached. For enterprises, unused or underused marketing content costs them around $2.3 million a year in missed opportunities. That's money spent creating stuff that just doesn't reach the buyer at the right moment in that self-service journey.
Okay, so the buyer's doing most of the work, the pressure's on the rep for that final interaction, but a lot of the content isn't hitting the mark, which leads us to the rep's actual day. Are we setting them up to succeed?
The data suggests we have a long way to go. This is the stat that always makes people pause. Sales reps spend only 28% of their week actually selling.
28%. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. If they're only selling about a quarter of the time, where on earth is the other 72% going? That's the productivity killer right there.
Just going into all the things SE should be fixing. Hunting for the right content, doing admin tasks, chasing internal approvals, you name it. All that non-selling stuff.
And you see the result of that inefficiency in the pipeline, I bet.
Directly. The data shows 58% of deals stall out in the pipeline, specifically because the reps just can't add value at the critical moment. They don't have the insight or the tailored content ready to go when the self-educated buyer asks the tough questions.
So if reps are struggling to add value, maybe the training isn't hitting the mark either.
That seems to be part of it. 26% of reps say their sales training was ineffective. That's more than a quarter feeling unprepared.
Wow. But there's a flip side, right? Good enablement makes a difference.
A huge difference. Check this out. 84% of sales reps hit their quotas when their company has a best-in-class SE strategy in place. When you nail the training and the ongoing support, the results are clearly there. And a lot of that comes down to coaching.
Right, coaching. We know 29% of reps who get weekly one-on-one coaching are top performers. Seems like a no-brainer.
You'd think so, but here's the disconnect. Only 53% of sales leaders are actually using specific coaching tools or solutions.
Wait, only half. If the ROI on coaching is that clear for top performers, why aren't more companies doing it systematically? That seems like a huge missed opportunity.
It really does. And it ties back into that onboarding efficiency we mentioned earlier. Getting new hires productive quickly is crucial.
Yeah, you said good SE programs speed that up significantly.
They do. The best onboarding programs, usually driven by a solid SE strategy, help new reps become fully productive 3.4 months sooner. That's 37% faster than companies with weak programs. Speed to revenue is a massive competitive edge.
Okay, we've hit internal efficiency, content, training. But let's talk about the biggest elephant in the room. The silos. Specifically, sales and marketing not being on the same page. That's more than just annoying, isn't it?
Annoying. It's a financial catastrophe waiting to happen, or rather happening right now. Misalignment between sales and marketing costs businesses. You hear of this?
Uh-oh, hit me with it.
$1 trillion every year,
Yeah.
globally, in lost sales productivity and totally wasted marketing spend.
$1 trillion. Seriously,
Right.
how? How is that even possible? What makes up that number? Lost deals, wasted ads.
It's all the friction. It's marketing creating campaigns, sales ignores, it's sales complaining about lead quality, it's duplicated effort, mixed messages to the customer, the whole mess. But look at the flip side, the prize for fixing it.
Okay, what's the upside?
Companies that achieve strong sales and marketing alignment, they become 67% better at closing deals. The motivation to fix the trillion-dollar problem is staring us right in the face.
67% better. Okay, so what are the main roadblocks according to leaders? Why is it so hard to fix?
Well, the top reasons cited are pretty fundamental. Poor communication is number one at 38%. Then you have misalignment on goals and strategies, that's 30%. And lack of sales input into marketing content, 27%. Basic blocking and tackling, really.
And what's the top strategy they're using to try and fix it? Is it some fancy tech?
Actually, no. The most common strategy, reported by over 77% of companies, is just holding regular sales and marketing alignment meetings. Sometimes the simplest solutions work best, or at least are the most attempted.
Huh. Just talking to each other more. Makes sense. Okay, let's widen the lens now beyond just sales and marketing. What about the whole customer experience, CX? That seems critical.
Absolutely crucial, because if the company feels aligned internally, the customer should feel that smooth experience too. But often they don't.
Yeah, I've felt that pain as a customer, having to repeat yourself.
Exactly. 70% of customers just expect whoever they talk to in any department to have the full context of their history. Yet 56% say they often have to repeat information to different people in the same company. That's a direct symptom of poor internal enablement and data sharing.
And that frustration costs businesses, right?
Big time. Fixing it, improving that CX, can boost revenue by 10 to 15%.
Yeah.
Customers reward seamless experiences.
But the penalty for not fixing it is even scarier, I imagine.
Much scarier. After just one poor customer experience, up to 89% of consumers say they've switched to doing business with a competitor. Loyalty is incredibly fragile.
89%. Wow. So you need to enable everyone who touches the customer post-sale too, not just the initial sales team.
You absolutely do. But here's another major gap. 79% of B2B companies completely neglect customer success enablement. They throw resources at winning the deal, then kind of drop the ball, leaving the CS team scrambling to deliver that great experience customers expect.
That seems incredibly short-sighted. Okay, let's shift gears towards the future. How is technology, especially AI, going to help fix some of these efficiency drains?
Well, it has to be central, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Especially when reps are spending, was it 72% of their time not selling? The potential for AI is huge. 78% of sales professionals already believe AI helps them focus more on the important parts of their job.
By taking away the busy work.
Exactly. Automating tasks, helping draft personalized outreach, surfacing critical insights just when needed. The data shows AI can provide about a 3x boost in sales productivity when used for things like that.
3 times. Okay, leadership must be seeing this potential.
They are. 55% of C-suite executives point to sales enablement solutions as the top technology investment needed to boost sales productivity. They see SE Tech as the key vehicle for actually deploying AI effectively across the revenue teams.
Right. Okay, final section. Let's circle back to the buyer one last time. We know they're self-serving more. When do they actually want to engage with sales?
The power shift is undeniable. The vast majority, 69% of buyers, typically only reach out to a salesperson after they've pretty much made their decision or at least have a very short list. They prefer doing the early homework themselves.
69% wait until the end. So when are they open to talking earlier?
They're most receptive during the initial research stage, that's 34%. Then comes evaluation at 23% and discovery at 21%. So reps need to be ready to add value and talk specifics very early on or wait until the very end and be incredibly sharp then.
And how do they want to have that conversation? Is it face-to-face?
Increasingly, no. This is a big shift. Over 70% of buyers say they don't want to see a sales rep in person anymore. They're perfectly happy, often prefer doing remote meetings.
70% prefer remote. So enablement needs to be laser-focused on making those digital interactions incredibly effective and high value. No room for fluff.
Precisely. Optimize that concise digital touchpoint.
Okay, this deep dive really paints a clear picture, doesn't it? The ROI for sales enablement is huge and proven. The cost of not aligning sales and marketing is, frankly, terrifying, $1 trillion. And the buyer is firmly in control, demanding efficiency and a great experience.
So what does it all mean? I think it means SE is moving way beyond just being a content library or running training workshops.
Yeah.
It's becoming the central nervous system.
The nervous system, I like that, connecting everything.
Yeah, connecting training, marketing, sales, customer success, driving the whole revenue engine.
Yeah.
And we're seeing ownership solidify, too. It's increasingly seen as a C-suite responsibility, primarily owned by the chief sales officer. The CSO holds the reins in about 35% of orgs, with CROs and CGOs close behind.
Makes sense. It's truly strategic now. Okay, let's leave our listeners with something to really chew on for their next strategy meeting. A final thought.
All right. Consider this. We know 87% of customers will actively avoid buying from brands they don't trust. We also know 97% think customer service is vital for loyalty.
Trust and service. Foundational.
Right. But then look at this other stat. 57% of sales calls contain negative emotions. Things like arguments, uncertainty, even anger.
Oof. Over half have negativity.
Yeah. So here's the question. Knowing the buyer is already 50 to 90% through their journey before that first call, how can your sales enablement strategy be designed to systematically build trust and head off those negative emotions before the rep even joins the conversation? How do you enable confidence from the very first interaction, knowing it might also be the last chance you get?
Wow. Building trust before the call. That's a challenge. Definitely something to mull over.